Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. The 10th Republican debate, that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. As usual, there are analysts saying who won and who lost the debate last night. That is meaningless because it's really up to you, the voter. The real test will come on Super Tuesday, just 4 days away. Right now, Donald Trump has 82 delegates, Ted Cruz 17, Marco Rubio 16, John Kasich 6, Ben Carson 4. 1,237 delegates are needed for the nomination, so you can see the race is not even close to being called. However, there's one undeniable fact. Donald Trump is a clear favorite. So last night, his two main contenders went after him hard.
For 40 years, you've been funding liberal Democratic politicians. And by the way,
I funded you.
The
I
reason
funded him.
You're welcome to have the check back.
I funded this guy.
Because let's be clear.
Him a check.
Yeah, you gave me $5,000.
You never funded me.
And by the way, let's be clear. Donald claims to care about
but he sent me his book with his autograph.
Donald, I understand rules are very hard for you. They're very confusing.
I have his book.
Okay.
Now, that was entertaining, but didn't really advance public policy, did it? Talking Points has said from the very beginning of the campaign that many Americans are voting on emotion, not facts. That's why candidates like Trump and Bernie Sanders have gotten so much attention. Not to say those two men are policy poor, they're not. But their primary appeal is personal, and I think they'd both acknowledge that. A couple of specific things from the debate. Trump was criticized by the Washington Post and others for saying this.
You look at our borders, they're like Swiss cheese, everybody pours in. We either have a country or we don't have a country. We have at least 11 million people in this country that came in illegally. They will go out. They will come back. Some will come back, the best, through a process. They have to come back legally.
Now, the Post is saying that Trump is exaggerating. The border is not as civ-like as it has been. But that isn't the point. Southern border with Mexico is not secure. Narcotics continue to flow through it at an astounding rate, and any thug who wants to can get in here. We saw that in the Kate Steinle murder case. So Trump is smart to make border security a cornerstone of his campaign. Now, it's interesting to watch the left wing respond to the Trump phenomenon. Even though the press tries to pump up Senator Sanders, nobody really believes that he'll defeat Hillary Clinton for the nomination. So there's little drama in that race. But at this point, 3 Republicans could still become the GOP nominee. This morning after the debate, Hillary Clinton actually helped Trump.
It's been most surprising to me to see somebody who was affable and was good company and, you know, had a reputation of being kind of bigger than life. Really traffic in a lot of the prejudice and paranoia and some of the comments that he's made, which have been so divisive and mean-spirited, doesn't quite fit with what I thought I knew about him. But he has really been offensive and in many respects surprising to those of us who did know him.
Now, that was very interesting, showing me that Hillary Clinton has already got her campaign theme that Donald Trump is biased and offensive. I don't believe 3 months ago Mrs. Clinton would have said that. But now she knows she may be facing the bombastic businessman head-to-head. However, Hillary Clinton must know that most Americans feel she's a controversial figure, and anyone she targets could gain from her scrutiny because millions of Americans don't really like the former Secretary of State. Later on, Bowling and Rivera will handicap a possible Trump versus Clinton race, but for now, I think the Clinton campaign has changed its view. Before South Carolina, Mr. Trump's lead was kind of hypothetical. Now it's reality. Many pundits believe Marco Rubio won the debate last night, but again, that is your call. Responsible American voters have now seen the Republicans hash it out 10 times. Yet it's estimated that 6% of GOP voters are still undecided, and others could change allegiance if other candidates drop out. That's what keeps Rubio and Cruz going, because it's really hard to be undecided about Donald Trump. You either like him or you don't. One of the big advantages Trump has is name recognition because of his television program. Rubio and Cruz are not well known by most Americans, so they're essentially playing catch-up as far as ID is concerned. That's why Rubio's feistiness last night may have helped him. Even though just a fraction of the American public watched the debate, the clips are all over social media and local news. Rubio took a page out of the Trump playbook. Take it to your opposition. Unlike past debates, the Florida senator did not concentrate on Ted Cruz. He went after the poll leader. For his part, Trump stood firm and fought back the way he always does, using a mixture of disdain and pointed criticisms. While some Americans are offended by his blunt talk, there's no question it has worked for him so far. But now it's crunch time. If Donald Trump sweeps on Tuesday, he wins. If Marco Rubio or Ted Cruz can stay close, then it's on to the big March 15th vote in Florida, a must-win for any Republican nominee. Also, if Trump beats Cruz in Texas on Tuesday, the senator is done. Now, the two other candidates on the stage last night, I thought John Kasich did a good job because he concentrated on policy, and he has been very successful in Ohio, as we know. I like his economic vision, I like his health care stand, and there's no question the man knows what he's talking about. But at this point, Kasich is really running for vice president. He can't overcome the three front runners. As for Ben Carson, what can you say? He's a good man who's waged a dignified campaign, but he has no shot. We discussed that with the doctor himself earlier this week. Carson stays in the race because he feels his message must be heard. There's nothing wrong with that. But after Tuesday, I expect Ben Carson to drop out. Kasich could stay in because his home state of Ohio comes up on March 15th, and he runs stronger in the Northeast and Midwest than in the South. So that's about it. Summing up, Rubio and Cruz gave Trump their best shots. Trump took the heat, didn't buckle, and you, the voter, make the ultimate call. That's where the spin really stops. And that's a memo.